This is Steve Dallas from Canton, Ohio. Oh, Canton. How about Massillon, Ohio? And I've had a request to teach me how to play Autumn Leaves. And so this goes out to Mateus. Interestingly, I had given a lot of thought to doing teaching videos instead of, digital piano bar request time idea. And so I'm going to expound a little bit. So it's, kind of unorganized because that's not what I was planning to do, but never can tell. Just trying the waters out here and see what you all want out there. And okay, so I'm going to play Autumn Leaves, at least one time through anyway, then I'll expound on it. So I may do a more expanded version of that a little later when I'm in a performance mode. So I'll go on with some ideas. There was a part which I wanted to include. That's that some of those sparkling passages. Chromatic scales. I wanted to include that in the arrangement, but I didn't want to, mess it up too badly. I wanted to get through one time. Those kind of passages typically take a little practice for me to revive. So as a pianist, you should know your chromatic scales. Chromatic scales are, it's when you play every single note. There's a standard fingering for that, and I'll show you what it is. If you go up on a chromatic scale with, say, your right hand, it's thumb, 3, thumb, 3. Now when you get to the gap, use 1 and 2 so that you can get 3 up here to the black key again. Basically, all the black keys are using the third finger. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 1, 2. And when you come down, it's just the same thing. Actually, it's easier when you get to the gap, you get to your second finger and you're there. The left hand, it's the same thing. When you get to the gap, use 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3. So, make sure you use that fingering. It becomes a little more, anytime. That's why we as pianists practice scales, regular scales. going into a college practice hallway, you hear people playing scales. You know, there's a reason for that. Is because it's it's the building blocks of songs. Now, so this Autumn Leaves has a double chromatic thing, which was kind of inspired by Roger Williams. He had this fancy arrangement, and you know, I listened to some of his playing, and it's like, whoa, that's really amazing. So this is kind of a caricature, you know, of some of the things he would do, but it's basically just a chromatic scale. I'm using traditional chromatic fingering, just coming from a C and E up here to a C and E down here. And it's pretty risky, and I didn't want to include it. So that might be a good place to, you know, recognize that I'm playing another C and E here, and the thumbs are coinciding. You know, so and then I'm ending with that also. So, you know, got to practice it slow, and then a little faster, a little faster, a little faster. Sometimes hard. Sometimes soft. And repetition, yeah. I guess what seems like I do easily, I've been playing for a long time. So, you know, some of the things that are just kind of like part of my vocabulary, like, you know, so I do a lot of arpeggiation, you know, that sort of thing. But I mean, I started doing that when I was like 13. I figured out I could take a minor 7 chord, something like that, and just reiterate it, and then with practice, I can just do it, you know, over and over and over, and kind of roll the hand up there. Okay, so when you're learning a song, the first thing you do is you got to know the melody. Okay, you got to know the melody. And I even put up a lead sheet of Autumn Leaves, so I wouldn't get lost, you know. I mean, like, yeah, I can play it by memory, but I didn't want to do 12 takes, so I thought I'd glance over this, make sure I'm hitting the melody. So you got, learn how to read at least the treble clef, all you out there that are trying to learn piano. That's an E, you know. Learn the melody, and then learn the chords. And there's some, I meant to tell you, this nice lady that was teaching chords. I meant to be able to share that with you. Maybe I'll include it in the comments below. And she had an interesting way of teaching, like, how do you find a major chord? Well, I've always used the start, whole, half, you know, the first start, whole, step, half step, whole step. But she simplifies it even more. She's counting half steps. Start, 1, 2, 3, 4th key, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, like that, okay? I probably will stick to my method because it's a little more, I guess, a little more scholarly in a sense. You know, because if you're trying to find a major chord, you're playing the first 5 notes of a major scale. Start, whole step, half step, whole step. Okay, once you get that, do, re, mi, fa, sol, then you play the first one, the third one, and the fifth one. All right, so you do that. Oh, you got to realize, of course, that a half step is from here to here, and then from here to here. This is a half step. This is a half step. So if you look at the keys up here, disregarding the color, if you go from any key to the next, it's a half step. Okay, half step. And then if you skip one, it's a whole step. And again, it doesn't matter what color you're going from. Like, all right, suppose you go from here, you want a whole step. Well, you skip over this one. That's why they say 2 half steps equal a whole step. Here's a start. If you started here, you go start, whole step, and this is a whole step because you got to skip this one. Start, whole, then a half and a whole. That's your formula. Say it. Start, whole, half, whole. Start, whole, half, whole. All right. And once you get your chord, you can start on any key, and that's your key. You got to know your keys on the piano. Man, am I teaching everything backwards or what? All right. C is right beneath the 2 black keys. C, D, E. Got to know it. And then F, G, A, B. Right beneath the 3 black keys. Okay, like that. F, G, A, B, C, D, E. They're alphabetical order. You could start on A, you know, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So it's just the alphabet. All right. There's no H's. It stops. It's called the musical alphabet. So learn the keys on the piano. Learn your treble clef at least so you can play what we call lead sheets. This is a lead sheet. And a lead sheet consists of the line of melody, which you sing if you wish, and the chord symbols here. Here's an A minor 7, D7, G, G, M, A, J 7. All right, so all those piano chords on the piano are super easy. I have friends who are guitar players, and they amaze me, okay? There's just inversions. It's just like all this stuff. It's like, what? Kidding me? I was just never, I've tried to start guitar many times in my life, and it just never, I don't know. I guess my attitude is, let someone else do it. And that's not a very good attitude. But, I am a pianist. So you got to learn your melody. Now, if you're a beginner, strip away all the 7s and the MAJ 7s and all that. You just need the basic, to start out, the basic chord. Like here's an AM. What's that mean? It means A minor. All right. Everything starts with the major chord. Start, whole, half, whole. Start, whole, half, whole. Every other key, there's your A major chord. And if you want to go to make it a minor, lower the middle note a half step. Okay. And then you're going to play something like this. This is your first baby step toward playing a song. A minor. And then it has a D chord. And then on window, play a G chord. Okay. And then on leaves, A minor chord. And then on this rest, if there's a chord above a rest, you play the chord alone. See, and then on gold, there's E minor. Okay, so that's the way you do it. And you can't play a song any simpler than that, unless you just are playing the right hand. All right. So I have some adult students now, and a lot of times what I do is, if they're singers, then I'll say, okay, their goal is to be able to play the piano and sing at the same time. I say, all right, you don't have to fuss with the melody because your voice is the melody. So you're going to play your chords and sing the melody. The autumn leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. All right, so if you're a singer, that's what you need to do. Learn to do that. And then within the context of a piano style which does not include the melody, you can't do this if you're not a singer, or if you don't have a saxophone player by your side at all times, or any other melody instrument, violin, whatever it is, trumpet, whatever it is. But if you want to accompany yourself as a singer on the piano, it's a worthy goal. I think you should do it. Who wants to rely all the time on a track or a piano or another piano player or whatever, or a computer? I did that for a while. That's a royal pain. So I can teach you to do that. Now, within the context of a piano styling with no melody, then we learn some basic, stylings. Okay, so autumn leaves could have a styling like this. You give yourself a chord. The autumn leaves. Now, what is that? Well, that's I call it a soft rock. Soft rock. And I call this rotation, where you take an say an A minor chord, and you rotate it. I call this rotation. Okay? Here's a D chord. Here's a G chord. Here's a C chord. Now, I'm not using the fancy versions of, like A minor 7 and D7 and G major 7. And not on this lesson. Maybe if you respond to this favorably, I'm going to show you how to build all those. And the nice thing about building chords on the piano is they're all the same rule. It's lovely. It's lovely. But back to stylings. So you go. Notice the left hand is only playing one note, and it's playing what we call the root. What's the root of the chord? It's the first note you came up with when you tried to find your chord. Like A minor. How do you find it? Start, whole, whole, half, whole. A major, drop the middle note. When I say drop, I mean lower it. And that's that direction. Sorry I have to be so elementary, but you see all kinds of things over the course of your lifetime. I had an accordion player. I said, go down. He'd always go this way, because when you play the accordion, you go down. So down is up. Oh, boy. All right, so rotation, play the root. There, I stuck in the major 7th. I promised I wouldn't do it. But I'll just, if you want to learn those things, Maybe I'll just give you a quick one. Let's see. We have A sevenths, plain old sevenths, and MAJ sevenths. When you see an MAJ, like this right here, G, MAJ 7. Okay. The MAJ belongs to the 7. All right, so you go G chord, and then the MAJ 7. Here's the way I've been teaching it for years. But I want you to listen to this other girl too. She's got another way counting, counting half steps, which I thought was kind of cool. But anyway, if you want to make a MAJ 7, and the idea is that here's the interval of the major 7th. It lies on a major 7. 1, 2, okay. But here's the way we do it. Play the chord, play the root is G, right? The root is G. Come up here, touch this G, and then just back up a half step. This is the octave. The first key down is the MAJ 7. You'll know you're on an MAJ chord, major 7th chord, because it sounds like that real famous song from Chicago. As time goes on. Okay, so that's the chord. That's the chord. All right, a normal 7. You bypass the MAJ 7, major 7. Come down one more to the normal 7. Okay, simple as that. So we have an A minor 7. There's your A minor chord. We go to the normal 7th. We go like this. Here's an A. Leap to the upper root. Another A. Just touch it. Don't play it. Back up 1. Back up again. Back up twice. See? Here's the upper root. Back up. Back up. There's your MAJ 7. Okay. We've got enough chords there. Now you can follow what I'm doing. Here's your note. Now there's one other big issue is you have to learn to play inversions. But I'm going to play this first like I'm teaching one of my students. We're not too strong into inversions yet. But inversions is when you flip a chord one way or the other. Here's what I mean. Here's an MAJ 7. All right. You flip the chord. Inversion means to turn upside down, right? Something like that. Well, it's sort of the same idea. Take this key, the A, say, all right, I'm going to fly him up here. There it is. There's your first inversion. All right. Take the C. Fly the C up here. All right, there it is. There's another inversion. That'd be your second inversion. All right, take this E, fly this E up here, like that. There's another inversion. Now, the last one, when you fly the G up here, you're back to what we call root position. Don't call root position the first inversion, because it's not. It's root position. All right, so. Now see this rotation on A minor 7. That's okay where it is, right? Now the next chord is D7. Now here's the root position of D7. Or here. Okay, here's the D chord. We got that because we went start, whole, half, whole, major chord. All right, there it is. Now, the normal 7th is, remember how I told you to do it? Here's the root. Touch the upper root. Touch it. D. Don't play it. Back up 1. back up 2 half steps. And there it is. Okay? There it is. All right, I'm going to play this without any inversions. And you'll see what it sounds like. The autumn leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. You see, I'm moving my hand all over the place. And that's why we use inversions, because the goal to this thing, and my students who I'm trying to teach this to, they can appreciate this, because the jump to going through all to the right inversion is kind of laborious, because you have to get familiar with how do I play you take an A minor chord, practice playing all the inversions up and down till you can do it in your sleep. C chord, C, whatever the chord is. Even if something hard in a sense, like the B chord. Start whole, whole, half whole, two, two. There's the chord, okay? First inversion, second inversion, back to root. Easy triads. Triad means 3-note chord. They only have a root position, a first inversion, and a second inversion. Then when you invert it again, you're back to root. You get that? Okay, good. All right. The autumn leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. I see your lips, A minor 7, D7, the summer kisses. Now here's an interesting one. G major 7, that's G major 7 in root position. Now I played an inversion of that. Boom. Oh yeah. The first inversion, sure. See, here's the chord, G major 7. And then you just lop off the bottom, boom. And don't despair, because see, you got your G down here in your bass, the bass guitar, so to speak. You can sacrifice it. Let it go. See. The sunburned hands that used to hold, since you went away, the days grow long, and soon I'll hear old winter song, G chord, but I'll miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. Now, you might say, well, what inversions should I play? And I'm working with a student right now on that. Take as a guide, maybe make the top note, which is in the melody, okay? So you have the autumn leaves. All right, you could take the top note, and that could guide you in what inversion. See? Window. melody note. Leaves of red and gold. Here's a good example. Gold, that's your melody. I chose that. Not totally necessary, but it's helpful. Well, you can see that, learning to create a accompaniment pattern for yourself as a singer is possible. It's not terribly hard. I mean, you can even start as simple as this. The falling leaves drift by my window. The autumn leaves of red and gold. Yeah, exercise your voice too. And if you have any questions, put them in the comment, and ask a question. If it inspires a whole video, then we'll do it that way. If you want a private lesson over the Facebook or Zoom or something like that, we can do that too. So just inquire of me and I'll get back with you. All right, my friends, I think that's all we'll do today. And Mateus, I have a feeling we're all overwhelmed because I need to have a system of what I'm going to teach at each lesson and this and that. So if you like the direction I'm going, let me know and we'll take off from there. So thank all of you. If you made it this far, maybe you were meant to play the piano, huh? What do you think? So